Hey everyone, it's Peggy McColl. Welcome. We are here for just want to check, make sure all the settings are good here. Looks like everything's working beautifully. We are here for our live broadcast. I am the creator of the Morning Money class, and if you're not currently a subscriber, it is free, and you can subscribe by going to morningmoneyclass.com. And if you are a subscriber, welcome back. I appreciate all you guys, and it is such a pleasure of mine to be of service to you, to help you understand that there is an abundance in this universe and that you are connected to it, and to help you create more abundance in your life. If you're watching the call right now, if you're live on the line and you have a question for me, in the description below on this video, I put the email address answers@peggymccall.com. And you can send an email to answers@peggymccall.com. And there I'll be able to see your questions and you can send them to me. I have my email open right now. It's going to land in a particular inbox that I have set aside for today, and I will address your questions. So the purpose of this event, this live YouTube event, is to answer any questions that you may have as it relates to money or the lack thereof it. And it could be questions that you have around your goals or something specific. And so some people have actually sent in their questions in advance. So what I'm going to do to start off is I'm going to address the questions that have been already submitted. And if you're on the call now and you want to send a question to me, send it to answers@peggymccall.com. answers@peggymccall.com, and I'll see them come in my inbox and I'll address them. Okay, so let's start with the first question that's been asked here. There's a lady by the name of Julie, and here's what Julie sent. She said, I want to thank you for the great videos you've been sending us. She's referring to the Morning Money classes. She said, I've been doing all the exercise and I've already learned so much. I have a question. I have set a goal to earn an amount of money that is much higher than I usually make. Recently, I've been offered a job that I think I would really enjoy doing. However, the amount of money that I would earn there doesn't come close to the amount of money that I want to achieve. Should I reject the job offer and look for something where I can earn more money instead? Okay, so that is a great question. And sometimes people get conflicted with seeing a temporary step in the direction of their goals and assuming that it's not going to take them to where they want to go, so they reject it. So here's what I would suggest. I would suggest you get quiet and ask yourself the question. There's actually a story in a book that I happen to have right here on my desk that's very similar to what Julie's asking. And it's a book by the title of Magic of Faith, The Magic of Faith, and is by Dr. Joseph Murphy. And here's what he says. He says, there was a woman, and this is based on a woman who had a question. She was confused about whether she should accept a position or not. So here's what the story says. And Julie, this will definitely answer your question. And even if you're not Julie and you're watching this live right now, or you're watching the recording because it's being recorded, I want you to really think about what the suggestion is here as it relates to what Dr. Joseph Murphy suggested to her. So a girl recently was wondering whether to accept a position in New York for considerable more money or remain in Los Angeles in her present position. At night as she went to sleep, she asked herself this question: what would be my reaction if I made the right decision now? That's a great question. What would my reaction be if I made the right decision right now? The answer came to her: I would feel wonderful, right? So assuming she makes the right decision, whether she accepts or doesn't accept the job, she would feel wonderful. That's what she knew. She said, I would feel happy having made the right decision. Then she said, I will act as though I have made the right decision. And she began to say, isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? Over and over again, almost as a lullaby, as she was drifting herself off into sleep, feeling it. Isn't it wonderful? She had a dream that night, and the voice in the dream said to her, stand still, stand still. And she awakened immediately and knew, of course, that that voice was the voice of her intuition. So that's what you can do, Julie. You have a question. You have a question that you wanted to know. Should I go this way or should I go that way? Should I accept the position or not accept the position? Ask yourself, your intuition knows the answer to the question. You have that answer within you right now. Knowing that, you would make the right decision. How would you feel? In this particular case, this woman would feel wonderful. Wonderful is a great emotion. It has you filled with wonderful and fulfillment, right? So she said to herself as she was drifting off into sleep, isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? And then the answer came to her. And I suggest you do the same thing, all right? That's great advice by Dr. Joseph Murphy. You can follow it too. If you're just getting on the call now and you didn't get on here in the beginning and you have a question for me, you can send it to an email address, which is answers@PeggyMcColl.com. Answers@PeggyMcColl.com. Okay, I have another question here. I'm going to keep answering these questions until I see more come in. Here's a question from somebody named, and I think it's spelled Nelly, N-E-L-E, from Estonia. Okay, I was on streaming yesterday. Thank you. Very good ideas. My question is this. Can you bring examples about taking action? Yesterday, you explained how to get a house. I see you had a house and you sold it. But if you do not have nothing, no money, no house, how do you take action? If you want to go abroad, you have only dream and no money. Okay, great. This is a great question. Thank you, Nellie, for asking. Now, whether you want to buy a house or you want to do anything, how do you do action without actually going and buying the plane ticket or booking the trip or whatever? There are a number of action steps that you can take that are a direct representation to the universe that you are moving forward, okay? And there are actions that don't necessarily cost you anything, but it's a clear signal to the universe that you're very serious about what it is that you would like. So I'll give you an example, a number of examples of action steps. When I decided, and I have bought many properties, I bought a dream home, my first dream home, I bought my second dream home, I bought waterfront properties, I bought a home down south, I bought many properties, many properties. So when you have the decision, when you decide I am buying a home, that you've decided that that's your goal, to take action, what you can do is you can start to look. Now, it depends on where you live, whether this is available to you or not. I don't know about Estonia, whether this is something that you can do there or not, but I know you have the internet or we wouldn't be connected. So what I do is I go online and I start to look at the options, look at what's available. That is an action step. I'll give you another example. My husband and I are building a home on the water on another property that we've bought. So we own this home, this beautiful home that we're in right now. We also own a waterfront property that we took possession of in May. And what we're doing is we're building a home on that property. And so what I did was I went and I met with a builder that I noticed was building homes in the same area. My husband and I came too. Then my husband and I sat down and we determined exactly what it was that we want. So we made a clear description of what that is. Meeting with the builder, looking at images online, looking at different models. That's something else that I've done. I've chosen different models. I've decided on which model we would love to have on that piece of land. And another thing that I've done, and this is a suggestion that I have for everyone, is I created a dream book. Now, this is a book that I have that it's on my desk here right now. And it's something that I created with a website called snapfish.com. And it's a place where you can go and you can upload all kinds of images and you can put captions below the images. So you could put different sayings in that images of anything that you want. So here's a book that I created, and it says right on the front cover of this book, says, "Thank you for my amazing life." And there's a picture of me and my husband. And inside the book, the first page is what's most important to me. That's my family. So the first page is a picture of my family. And it says, "My wonderful family that I love so much." So it's my husband, our two doggies. You can see Noelle sitting on my lap, Pablo sitting on Denny's lap. See a picture of my son, my grandson, and my daughter-in-law. All my family I love so, so very much. And then in there are pictures, a picture of our home, which we are in right now. This is the home that we love. A picture of my husband and I doing wonderful things together, different images there. I've got pictures of the waterfront property and us snowmobiling and having big campfires there. I've got pictures of me on stage and doing different things in my career. I have pictures of me with my son and my grandson. I've got pictures of Bob Proctor and I doing a number of different things together. and then a number of pictures also that are relevant or related to the things that I'm doing with my husband. Okay, so this is an action step. Ordering this book online was an action step. And anything that you're doing that's having you experience and imagine and feel as if you already have that which you desire is an action step. If you're looking to go on a trip, one of the things that you mentioned, Nellie, is that you wanted to take a trip abroad. Well, go online. Do some research. You could get a book. There's a whole bunch of books on when you're traveling to different countries on things that you can do. You could even plan your trip out before you go. I remember one of the trips that I did many, many years ago. This is going back probably, 20 or 30 years ago now. One of the trips was I took a trip to California, and I went up and down the coast. I flew into San Francisco and rented a car and went all over the place. So what I did was I bought a book on California, tourism in California. And then what I did, sorry, there's a bunch of messages that are popping up on the right-hand side of my screen. And then what I did was I planned out the trip, right? Now, whether you're taking the trip or you're not taking the trip, you could still plan the trip, right? If you're, whether you actually go out and physically buy the house before you're ready, but you can still go looking at houses. You can go online and look at houses. You can look at new builds. You can look at property. You can go to what they have called open houses. There's a lot of different action steps that you can take. Visualization, visualizing and seeing yourself in that experience of having that which you desire is an action step that you can take. Okay, so those are the things that you can do, and there's a lot of things that you can do. Hopefully that'll help. Okay, so as I said, if you're on the live stream right now and you have a question, just type in answers. Send your question to answers@peggymccall.com. I'll see them come into my inbox and I will address them. Okay, so good. A bunch of questions are coming in right now. So let me go to the next question. Lita asked this question. She says, "Hi, Peggy. Thank you so much for doing this Q&A. I've enjoyed following you since I saw you at the Paradigm Shift seminar. Thank you for what you do. My question today is about visualizing and feeling my goals. When I close my eyes and try to act them out in my imagination, it's black and white. I am sure I read somewhere that we should imagine it in color. If I keep my eyes open, I can see color. Does this matter? Also, I sometimes have a hard time feeling it. Do you have any tips on how to bring the feeling to the image? I took your advice and wrote up my life script and recorded it, and that works great. It's just when I sit quietly and try to imagine my goals being acted out, it's black and white, and I have a hard time getting the emotions to attach to the vision. I hope this makes sense." Absolutely. I understand exactly what you're saying, Lita. So here's the thing for Lita and anyone else that's watching this or listening to this. You decide if it's going to be hard or not. You decide. I mean, it's that simple. If you are declaring to the universe that it's hard, it will be what? Hard, right? If you keep affirming that you're only seeing black and white, then what are you going to do? You're going to see black and white. I can't even imagine only seeing black and white. So here's the thing. Imagine that it's easy. It's easy for you to see it when you close your eyes. Know that it's easy for you to close your eyes. That's a starting point. It's becoming consciously aware of what your feeling is around what your feeling is around it, right? And so I love that you did write your script and you recorded it and you listened to it. So if you find that that's the thing that allows you to connect emotionally to that which you desire, then do that often. So if you find you sit in a chair and you get quiet and you close your eyes and you're finding yourself be distracted, then get ready with things that are going to switch your emotion over to what you want. This is the reason why I wrote the book, Your Destiny Switch. Let me grab that book. You see, this book here, Your Destiny Switch, is based on switching your emotions. It's based on recognizing that you're the one that's in control. Nobody else is in control of what you're thinking. You're in control. You're in control of your experience in the thinking. You're in control of how you're feeling as well. So because I became very aware of the stuff that was showing up in my life was as a result of what I was thinking and what I was feeling, I chose to put more conscious effort. It's almost like turning up the volume to thinking about what I was thinking about and to think about what I was feeling. And then if I wasn't feeling what I wanted to feel, then I would switch the emotion. So how do you switch the emotion? Well, one way is, in a very effective way, is through what Lita referred to, which I teach, is writing a power life script. That's where you get a real detailed description of your life as if you are already living it, and you record it and you listen to it every single day. Now on my iPhone, I have my iPhone right here beside me. On my iPhone, I have my script. And I have it synced up to my car as well. So I get in my car and I turn on my car, and I was actually out at an appointment this morning. As soon as I go in my car and I turn on my car, my Bluetooth is connected to my iPhone. And immediately my life script will begin. When I wake up in the morning, I plug my headphones in. I got my headphones on right now. Plug my headphones in and I start to listen to my life script. I listen to my life script several times a day. It's about 27 minutes long. And so that is a very, very powerful switching technique. I showed you when I was answering the previous question, this little dream book that I have. My dream book is something else that it can cause me to switch and only focus on what I want. I also have so many tools around me. I have this sign that I have right here on my desk. Let me show you this sign. This was one that I had made. I had made on a site called Personalization Mall. And so it's got my name in the middle, as you can see. It says Peggy, and it says today, and it says, your dream, let me just turn it around. Your dream is fulfilled. How do you feel? Your dream is fulfilled. How do you feel? You've heard me talk about that on one of the morning money classes, right? The pre-sleep moment question that you ask yourself. But does it mean you only ask yourself that question as you go to sleep at night? No. Ask yourself now. So if I said to you, imagine that your dream is fulfilled right now, and you just closed your eyes and you stepped into imagination. We're in control of that mental faculty called imagination. Nobody else is stepping into our mind unless we give them permission to. So if you imagine your life is fulfilled right now and you close your eyes, you can see it. And you can see it because you become very clear, and that's what you've already done. You become very clear on exactly what it is that you want. So those are all my suggestions. Decide it's easy. Get into the practice of it. If you find yourself drifting off to what you don't want, put yourself right back on track. Put yourself on what's called a switching technique, okay? All right, let me go to the next question. That was a great question. They're all great questions. All right, this question is from May. So May says, nice to know your program. Let me introduce myself. My name is May, and I found your writing on Bob Proctor's website. I've been studying about the law of vibration and attraction since last year. This early year, me and my partner setting a goal, which is really, really huge for us. We had financial crisis since last year, and we set our goal until the end of this year. Tomorrow will be the last month, but I still can't see where and from where it will come. Well, I didn't say that I don't see the progress. I see, but I am kind of lost hope. The time is close, but we are far, far away from the goal. I've read many stories, share which I can find from Bob or even you, but I feel far that when we get our moment, I always ask myself why we can't run fast and faster. It's always on my mind, why people can and can't. Please share your thoughts. Sincerely yours, May. Sorry for my rough English. This is a great question, a really great question. And what's even going to be greater is the answer. So regardless of whether you're May and you ask this question, I want you to really, really hear the answer to this question, okay? So I'm going to focus back onto you. Here's the thing. When we set a goal, right? We set a goal, a specific goal for a specific period of time. There's this thing, one of the natural laws of the universe called the law of gestation, which dictates that there's a certain amount of time that every goal must manifest into form. We can't dictate when the goal is going to happen. Yes, we can set the goal. Yes, we can say we want it by a particular period of time. But if that period of time comes along, or even if you're getting close to that period of time and it's not happening, don't lose faith. If you've lost faith, you've just killed the goal. Killed it. As soon as you start thinking about why it's not happening or why you can't have what you're happening, you're squishing the goal. You're poisoning the goal. It's like Wayne Dyer used to talk about people planting seeds in the ground like a tomato shoot, right? Or a tomato seed. They plant the seed and then they start to see a little bit of evidence, or even if there isn't any evidence. And then they get angry, right? Like, where's the goal? Why is it not here? Right? It's almost like pouring poison or uprooting the seed of the goal. As soon as you get upset, frustrated, angry, you lose hope, depressed, sad, anything, any emotion that doesn't feel good, you have just killed the goal, right? I remember years ago hearing something from Bob Proctor, which had a big impact on me, and it will very likely have a big impact on you. And here's what I heard. Bob Proctor said, it only takes a little bit of poison to kill. It only takes a little bit of poison to kill. If you lose faith, you kill the goal. Now, it may or may not show up by the end of the year. It may or may not show up by next month, but don't give up on it. I tell this story, and there's a story in your Destiny Switch that I tell about when I decided to buy my dream home. And I had no idea how I was going to buy this home. I had no money, and I didn't think that I had the means in order to buy the home, but I had the goal, right? And so I set an objective. And I set an objective for a certain date, and that date came and that date went, and I had no sign of the result in sight, but I did not let go of the goal. Okay, so if we don't have the evidence, it doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. It could be that we just got the date wrong, right? It could be it's just going to be a little bit longer. There's a wonderful story in the great book called Think and Grow Rich. Let me get that book off my shelf here. In this book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, where he tells a story about 3 feet from gold. Now, this story has relevance as it relates to goals and setting an objective and a date for a goal. And here's what the story is. I'll just paraphrase. The story is about this guy who's a gold miner, and he has this property where it's known to be gold on this property, and he finds some gold on the property. But yet he doesn't find what he's really looking for. It's not like that big find, right? The big, enormous return on his investment of time and energy. So he ends up getting so frustrated because he's not getting the results that he wants, that he ends up selling the property and the equipment that he had bought for mining to some junkyard dealer down the street. So this other guy buys the property, and he gets the property, and he has faith that there's some gold in this land, right? He has absolute complete faith that there's gold in this land. So as a result of having the faith that the gold is in this land, he hires somebody, an engineer, to come in and help him, really determine where are they drilling, and are they in the right place? Are they in the right, was the vein below? And what they find is that the previous owner had stopped. He had stopped mining for gold when he was 3 feet away from the biggest gold mine in the history of the world. He stopped himself when he was 3 feet from gold. And that's what the story is called, 3 feet from gold. And if you're not familiar with that story, get familiar with that story. You can just do a search online. You can find that story anywhere. And you will discover that that's what stops a lot of people, is that they give up on their dream because they don't have any evidence, or they get a little bit of evidence, and then they start to think about how frustrated they are. They start to think about why they haven't manifested it, and they start to think that they can't do it and what's wrong with me. And they start thinking those thoughts, which is contaminating, absolutely poisoning their results. So you got to notice that. You got to stand guard at the door of your mind. Don't let that in, because it could be that it's just around the corner. Okay, so don't give up on the dream. Yes, we can set a goal, and yes, we can set a date for when that goal shows up. But I remember hearing Bob Proctor saying, it wasn't that long ago I heard him, most people underestimate how long it's going to take for them to get to where they want to go. Now, he's not, being negative or anything. That's the reality. Most people are just short. Their timing is just short of where they're going to arrive at their goal. So don't give up on the goal. Just set a new date and believe it. You got to believe it, okay? All right. Good. A whole bunch of questions are coming in. Cool. That was a really good question. Thanks, Karen. I see your questions here. Okay, Anna's got some questions. There's a whole bunch of questions that came in. Okay, guys, for those of you, oh my goodness, are you serious? That's really bad. Okay, so for those of you that are on the call right now, if you have a question for me, send it to answers@peggymccall.com. I've still got several questions to answer here, so hopefully I'm going to get through them all. Okay, here's a question from, not sure how to spell the name. It's from India. It looks like Kaberi. Anyways, it's Kaberi. And here's what the question is. I am an Amway business owner. I want to see some growth of my business. I want to expand my group by involving more and more people, but I am unable to do so. Okay, so I haven't even read the rest of this question, but there's two things that are standing out to me right here. and nothing against this person whatsoever, but I just want to point this out because I think it's relevant for all of you. When you declare to the universe you want something, the universe will say to you, indeed you do. In other words, you will continue wanting. So just pay attention when you're saying, I want, or need, another word, okay? The other thing, pay particular attention when you're saying you can't do something. So this question says, I am unable to do so. If you believe you can or you believe you can't, you're right. That was one of Henry Ford's quotes. Okay, I want to learn to present this business opportunity to people. Awesome, that's great. If my business grows, and it should be when my business grows in the right direction, there's a huge source of income and wealth waiting for me. However, that's not happening. Not yet. Something is missing and doesn't click. That's you. It's your mindset, okay? My question is, how do I interact with people so that they become interested in my business? How do I present myself before people? Looking forward to hearing your answer. Thank you. Okay, where does it start? It starts with you. You are going to attract people to you when you believe that you already have a successful business. And that's in advance of actually having the experience. You must believe that you have it now. Okay, not sometime in the future. You got to believe it's possible for you, that you're experiencing it, that you're wildly successful, and then you get out there and you start networking with people. When you know, and you're an Amway, right? And there's many other different types of organizations, network marketing organizations, sales organizations. When you know that the opportunity is there for you and for others to create wealth in their life, by offering wonderful products and services or whatever it is that you're doing. When you know that in your heart, you will attract to you the right people. But it starts first with you, with what you believe about you. So the first place to work is on your own mindset. I would suggest that you work on your belief system with really believing that you already are successful, that it truly is a wonderful opportunity, that you've tapped into, that you're doing exceedingly well in, and that you love helping other people too, that you're helping other people create wealth in their lives, and really believe it, because when you do, you're going to attract people to you. And you can network online, and you can establish relationships. Like, here we are, I'm here, and I'm in Ottawa, Ontario, in Canada. You're in India. I've got questions that are coming in here from all over the world. You can create relationships with anybody from anywhere now, because even though we have over 7 billion people on the internet, we have this thing, these pipes that are connecting us. It's called the internet. So you can start those relationships. But I'll tell you something right now, unless you get it right here and here, like in your head and your heart, believing that you're already there, you're not going to attract anybody, and you'll continue to stumble and struggle. So you got to believe it, know it now. You got to see yourself as the person you truly want to become. You got to see it, you got to know it, you got to feel it, you got to be experiencing that every single day, and then get out there and attract the relationships. Because when you sincerely believe it and you know it, you're going to attract the right people into your life. All right. Great questions, by the way. You guys have some phenomenal questions here. Okay, so here's a question by Jacqueline. Jacqueline is saying, hi, Peggy, thank you for helping us understand the laws of the universe. My question is this: is it possible to be grateful for something or someone other than ourselves? For example, I'm so happy and grateful now that my sons are very successful and happy, either in their vocations or personal lives or something similar to that. Thank you, and I'm so happy and grateful now that you are in my life. Jacqueline, I'm happy to be in your life, and I'm happy you're in my life as well. Thank you for that. I love this question. I love this question because I have a son as well and a grandson, very blessed. And I absolutely have goals, and I am grateful for things for my son and my grandson. And every single day when I wake up in the morning, the first things that I write in my gratitude journal are about my son and my grandson. How happy they are, how healthy they are, how prosperous they are, and how safe they are. That is absolutely, so the answer is absolutely yes. The other thing that I have is in my life script I mentioned earlier, I have my Power Life script. It's recorded, it's on my iPhone. I'm listening to it every single day, multiple times a day. It's not only about me. I talk about my son and I talk about my grandson. I talk about my son and how successful he is in his business. My son runs his own business. I have a grandson. I talk about my grandson and how happy he is. He's a happy little guy. He's 5 years of age and he's just completely adorable. I talk about how healthy he is as well. So yes, absolutely. Yeah, you can be having your family as part of your statements as well. Okay, let me go over to my email now, because those questions that I just addressed were ones that came in before we started the call. So now I'm going to go to the ones that have been coming in since our call started. Okay, so Michael from Monterey, thank you for submitting the question. Let me just quickly, oh, good. I have a great desire to be wealthy. Awesome. Well, Michael, you deserve to be rich. Your birthright is to be rich. I'm in the process, is what Michael says, I'm in the process of changing my paradigms that will allow that. Brilliant. That's what you need to do. I come from a family that wasn't prosperous at all. Me too. How can I get rid of what you call the nasty money blocks you mentioned? I know how to make money and have some great plans. My income goal is 1.2 million a year. What can I do to get going? I feel like fear is keeping me from doing what I know is right. In planning my new life, I've enrolled in the PGI consultant program. Congratulations. I've created some serious debt in the process overall. Can you remind me how to look at debt the right way? I love that. Okay, so many great questions inside Michael's question. First thing, I'm going to start with the bottom thing first. Don't look at it as debt. Look at it as an investment, right? That's what you've made. You've made an investment in yourself. So if you think about making an investment, how do you feel? If you think about having debt, how do you feel? Investment, the idea of having an investment, which is something that grows, the intention is to have it grow, you feel differently. Right now, of course, we're the ones that are in charge of how we feel, but you get to decide. So I would stop saying that you're in debt. I would not even give that any energy whatsoever. I would see it as you're making really smart, wise financial investments in yourself. And you know what? That's the absolute best way. The best way to make an investment is in yourself, because that's something you can control, right? You can control it every day. The Proctor Gallagher Institute, which is Bob Proctor and Sandy Gallagher's corporation, is a phenomenal place for you to be. Why? Because what they're teaching is what we're talking about here. You being a consultant means you're going to go out in the world and you're going to share the brilliance of that wonderful program that they created together, and you're going to consistently and constantly help other people grow. And the more you help another person grow, the more you're going to grow. The more you help another person be successful, the more you will be successful. The more you help another person be prosperous, the more you will be prosperous. You are in the right place at the right time. Plus, as I said earlier, we're connected to this thing called the internet. You can connect to people, bam, like that. You can be all over the internet creating ideas and sharing messages, just like I do with the morning money class, right? I just got that idea one day when I was driving down to have a meeting with Bob Proctor. It just hit me. I was driving along and I was listening to Earl Nightingale in my car. It's like morning money class. Hey, I could do that. And I decided to create videos and send them out 3 times a week and just make them short so that they're bite-sized nuggets of information. Just think about, Michael, what you can do to serve the world with what you already know, right? Start to build an email list. That's one of the best things you can do. I tell my clients all the time, build an email list, right? Create a relationship with people, but you got to be out there giving in the world. Like one of the things that I love about the Proctor Gallagher Institute, what they do is they're constantly in training as well. They've got so many resources for the consultants in the training as well to help you grow that business. So you can focus on that business. And so if your goal is $1.2 million a year, how will it feel you earning $1.2 million a year, right? So as I shared earlier, I have this wooden sign. Now you can have it on a little sheet of paper. Your goal or your dreams are fulfilled. How do you feel? That's what you should be focusing on every day. Give thanks for it every day. You get up in the morning, you write in your gratitude journal, I'm so happy and grateful that I'm easily earning $1.2 million in annual personal income. I'm so happy and grateful. Write it out 100 times a day, right? Bob says writing invokes thinking, right? It also, thinking causes feeling. So when you're feeling as if you're already earning $1.2 million a year, and you're seeing your life as if you're earning $1.2 million a year, and you're hearing yourself through your affirmations every day, like I do with my Power Life script, I'm so happy and grateful I am easily earning $1.2 million a year. And you hear it over and over and over again. And one of the things that Dr. Joseph Murphy talks about in Your Master Key to Wealth is he says it's through repetition, faith, and expectancy that we create the results. Repetition, repetition, repetition. You're affirming it every single day, affirming it every single day. You're hearing it every single day. You're giving thanks for it every single day. You're seeing your vision every single day. And you will build the faith, right? It's emotional muscle. Like if I want to work on my biceps, I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to work on lifting weights every day, and they're going to get strong. Now they don't stay strong unless I go back to the gym and go back to the gym and go back to the gym and go back to the gym. Same thing with your emotional muscles. You got to be working on them every single day. You got to be feeding them and fueling them and working on them and practicing them. And you'll never stop. Like I've been at this 37 years now, maybe 38 years now. I've been studying. Bob Proctor's been studying this stuff for 55 years. Neither one of us is going to stop till the day we die. We love this stuff, love these materials, because our conscious awareness is always evolving. And so you must, Michael, and everyone else that's listening, get to a point where you see it and you feel it and you know it, that you're already there, that you're already living that life, that you're already earning that income, and you're seeing the evidence of it in your mind, right? You close your mind. You don't even have to close your mind. You can see it. You can see it around you. You can see abundance everywhere. Okay? All right. Let's go to the next question. That was a great question. Thank you for asking that. Oh, great. Hey, Rawin's on. All right. Good to see you here. Once you gain the confidence to become the best version of yourself, you get so many ideas of things to do for success. Do you tackle them all at once, or tackle one, finish it, then go on to the next one? After writing this question, I feel like I know the answer, but I'll send it anyway to hear your opinion on it. I love this question. This is an awesome, awesome, awesome question. Okay, I love, love, love this question. Okay, so, you know, when you get all these ideas, and that's what happens. It's like with Michael as an example. So Michael's talking about earning $1.2 million a year. Now, I suspect, Michael, you haven't earned $1.2 million yet, right? But it's the goal that you set for yourself. When you come from the goal, that's what Neville Goddard says, come from the goal, meaning you're thinking that you're already there. You will get ideas. I get ideas all the time. I don't have to know how I'm going to achieve them. But the question, to answer your question, Rawin, here's what I do. When I get ideas, I will act on them. I will act on the idea. So, for example, you know, I had an idea for doing a membership site. So as soon as the idea came to my mind, I started thinking about what would it be? Well, because I do a lot of online marketing and I, you know, launch things on the internet, I will instantly go and see if there's a domain name that is similar or could match up to what that idea is. And then what I do is I'll open up a file on my computer and I'll start to write down an extension of that idea or an expression of that idea. What does that idea really mean? Now, I have, just in my own domain names, I have around 550 domain names. And every one of those domain names came with a business idea. Now, have I acted on all of them? Do I act on one and then move to the next one? No, right? Because some of the ideas are, you know, they might even be something that lights my fire in the moment. But if I'm not still excited about it tomorrow morning when I get up, I don't do anything with it. But if I have an idea, and that idea is within me, and I'm excited about it, and I find myself thinking about it hours later or days later, then I will put it into action. But one of the things that I do is I have, and I have it right here on my desk, I have something called an idea journal. All right, so this beautiful journal that was a gift from one of my friends, a very special friend of mine. And so what I do is whenever I get an idea, unless I'm on my computer, I will just write it in my journal. So I keep my journal with me. And then what I'll do is I'll expand on that idea as well. Now, because that's an idea journal, and I know exactly what this is for, I keep it somewhere so it's visual, so I see it. Because even though I might have the front cover closed on the journal, I'm still thinking about what I've written in this idea journal. And every once in a while, I'll see it, and it triggers the conscious thought in my mind. And then I'll take it a little bit further. Now, there have been some things that I've come up with ideas for, that I've created landing pages for, or web pages for, that I've actually, in some cases, partnered up with other people with, and then we, just gave up on the idea. Or not gave up on the idea, just didn't take it any further. And you know what? That's okay. It's okay. I don't get upset about it or whip myself like, oh my goodness, you got so many ideas and you're not doing anything with them. You know what? I believe ideas also have a gestation period of time. Now, it is up to us whether we're going to do something with it, but sometimes we'll get an idea and in the heat of the moment, we'll think, oh, this is a phenomenal idea. And we may find later, upon thinking about it more, that we're really not that excited about it. You know, the other day, I was on the phone with one of my clients, and he was telling me about an idea that he had a number of months ago, and he started to move forward on the idea. So he started to execute on that idea and do some things and take some actions. And it was an idea that he wasn't particularly passionate about, but he thought at the time that it might be a nice money-making idea. And so he did take some action. But what he discovered is because it wasn't something that he was really, really passionate about, it's like he ran out of steam. And I really believe that whatever it is that we're doing in our career, with what we are focusing on, what we're intending to do, it's like Michael doing the TIR consultant work. It's like Robin with what you're doing, and Karen, who I know that's on this call. If you don't feel in your heart that you really, really, really want to do this, you're going to run out of steam. Like I get up every day and I just give thanks. Thank you. I love what I do. I write it in my gratitude journal. I wrote it in today in my gratitude journal. I love what I do and I'm doing what I love. I really, really love what I do. I sent a note to Lisa, who's at the Proctor Gallagher Institute. You know, we did a call together, and I got off the call and I said, oh, I just feel so blessed to do what I do. I love doing the morning money classes, love doing the morning money classes. I schedule time in my agenda when I'm going to record them and get them ready. And then I've got Dr. Yusi who helps me get them ready, and he puts the front end and the back end behind it. I love it, absolutely love it. And every single day I get emails from people thanking me for those money classes, and they're making a difference. Every single day, my subscription list is growing. And why does that happen? Because I'm doing what I love. So you could have ideas all day long, but I think what's most important is, number one, that they're ideas that you really are passionate about. Number two, that there's something in alignment with what your vision is, you know, what you believe your purpose is in the world. You see, a number of years ago, I created a mission for my life. And the mission is to make a positive contribution to the lives of millions of others. And so knowing that, that's my mission, that's why I'm here on this earth, every decision becomes easy. So if I think of an idea, if it's not in alignment with that idea, if it's not something that's going to make a positive contribution in the lives of millions of others, I might not proceed, or I might not feel that it's a match. If it's a match and it's something that I really, really, really love doing, like I really, really, really love doing the work that I do in the world, then I'm going to do it, right? It's like the morning money class. It's like the work I do with authors, the work I do with entrepreneurs who want to build a business online. Like all of that is absolute true passion. So I have gazillions of ideas, many, 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 many ideas. So it's not like an orderly procession. It's like I grab a hold of an idea, and if it's a passionate idea, then I will take action. And I will, because I have multiple ideas that I'm working on at any time. And I'm very cautious. I'm noticing whether I'm giving it energy in my accomplishment list that I'm setting for myself every week and every month, and whether I'm actually doing something. Like if I get an idea and I start to write out, okay, well, here's what I'm going to do, and I find myself not wanting to do the work or not investing the time to do it, then I know it's not my passion. And then I realize that in that moment, that's not something that I really want to be doing. Okay, let me go to the next question. Great questions. Great, awesome questions. Okay. Oh, perfect. Okay, Michael asked the question. I have a full-time job that seems to make it hard to pursue my plans to earn a much larger income. What is the best way to pursue my dreams while still having to work full-time? Okay, great question. I had a full-time job while I started my business part-time. So number one, stop saying it's hard, okay? It seems to be hard. It's not hard. It's easy. Make it easy. Right? You get to decide. Now, here's what I would suggest. Because you're looking at creating another income stream, start to dedicate or devote some time. And it doesn't have to be massive amounts of time. So let's say you normally get up at 6:30 in the morning. Get up at 5:30 in the morning and dedicate that hour every day. That's 5 hours a week that you could put into something else. And let's say you're someone who watches television. Stop watching television, right? There's an expression that says, what are you prepared to give up to get to what you want, right? Well, what are you going to give up? You're going to give up maybe sleeping that extra hour. You might go to bed a little earlier, so you still get the same amount of sleep. You might not go out as often as you do now. So you might sacrifice something in your life to get that what you want, but start the business now. You can do it online, as I said earlier. Start an online business. Start building something online where you're building your profile, building your brand, and building your image so that you can put people in your funnel, excuse me, so that they can become clients of yours in your TIR business. So do something online, which makes it easy because you can do it from the comfort of your home and you have internet access. Okay, Anna. Hey, from rural Saskatchewan. Hi, Anna. I made 2 financial decisions recently in business and self-development. Being unemployed didn't factor for me as I believe that the how would show up, but payments are due in a couple of weeks and money manifestation has not yet happened. My life vision is strong and my self-image is also good. Now I am applying for jobs as I'm still learning my business and income isn't coming yet. How else do I manage and focus my intent for the money to come to me? And I love your smiling faces in the mornings. Thanks, Anna. Okay, great question. Okay, number 1, you got to believe and know that it's already there, right? Know that everything is paid. If you got a bill that's coming up, that bill is paid in divine order. If I asked you this question, Anna, you know your bills are already paid. How does that feel? You know your bills are already paid. How does that feel? Now, even though we're pretending right now, you're gonna invoke the feeling of them already being paid, right? That's what you need to be doing every single day. You've got to see the bills as already being paid. When you do that, you are, as Neville Goddard says, you're coming from your goal, meaning it's already done. You know it's already done. You don't have to know how, just know it's already done. If you're feeling that choking feeling like, how am I doing it? Ask yourself, what would I love? What would I love? What would I love? And focus on what you would love. You'd love to have them all paid, right? Ideas are going to come to you. People are going to come to you. You're going to figure it out when you come from faith. When you come from faith, you got to know, absolutely know with every ounce of your being that it's done, that it's paid. I love that you're taking action. You're out there looking for income streams. You could look at other ways of making money online. There's always, always, always ways of making money. Now, one of the morning money classes, and I know you watch them because I noticed when you say I like the video. Thank you, Anna, for doing that. I appreciate you. There's a quote that a friend of mine said, and I think it was in maybe it was today's morning money class. It wasn't today's morning money class. My wealth is always increasing. And Master Key to Wealth, this book right here by Dr. Joseph Murphy. Oh, there it is, right in front of me. Okay, this book right here, Anna, get this book. I have it in audio. I listen to it all the time. Now, I'm an auditory learner. I'd rather listen to audio than anything else. So get the Master Key to Wealth. He talks about that in this book. He says, when you see a bill or you get a bill, just say that bill is paid in divine order. That bill is paid in divine order, right? That bill is paid in divine order. I know you've been watching the morning money classes. Watch them again and again and again and again and again until this becomes a part of who you are. Right? You remember that story? It was last week where I said the woman who tripled her business, and she did it by just affirming, right? She said, God's love, God guides, inspires me, and uplifts me. I'm illumined from on high, and his healing love flows from me to all my clients. And she affirmed that every single day. Every single day she said that affirmation. And I also told the story about, I think it was in Monday's class, spend money freely. That was it. Spend money freely, spend money freely. There's a story, and all of that came from Dr. Joseph Murphy. There was a woman who had $5. That's all she had to her name, and she didn't want to spend it. It's like she was holding on to that $5 with dear life. And she went to the grocery store, and she needed to get some groceries, and she thought, you know what, I'm going to release it. It's like, I'm going to spend this money freely, knowing that money comes back to me. And she was in the grocery store, and the owner of the grocery store came up to her and said, are you looking for a job? Are you available to work? And she said, yes, as a matter of fact, I am. And he said, well, I need a teller. I need someone to work here. And she got a job at the grocery store and ended up, so she got a job, got an income, ended up marrying the guy who owned the store and had all the money she needed, all of her life. So it all comes from believing it and knowing it. It's already here. You got to affirm it now. Know it's here now with absolute certainty. You got to have faith. Here's another book that I recommend by Dr. Joseph Murphy called The Magic of Faith. You got to have faith. Faith will move mountains. You got to believe it and know it. Affirm it every single day. Give thanks for it every single day, and you'll get the money that you need. Okay. All right. Karen is asking 4 questions here. Okay. So since YouTube is free, how do you make money from it? Second question is the voice recorder, not Audacity, you use like when you're in your car. Is it on your iPhone or do you download it? Since I need help with speaking, do you recommend I join Toastmasters? How do you decide if the business I'm starting is a social service to make a private or for profit or private nonprofit? Okay, all great questions. Thank you, Karen. Okay, so the first question is, since YouTube is free, how do you make money from it? There's a couple ways that you can make money from it. Okay, so here's the number one way. What I'm doing right here, right now on YouTube is I have a YouTube channel, Peggy McColl. Under the YouTube channel, I have a playlist called Morning Money Class. I upload the videos to there. They are available to the 7 billion people that are on the internet. Since I started doing morning money classes, people are going to my website, peggymccall.com, and they're signing up for my programs. They're going there and they're just signing up. And business is just coming. It's like flowing and flowing and flowing in because people are seeing who I am. I'm attracting more clients, more one-on-one clients. People are signing up for my January programs than I've ever had before. So I'm doing that because I'm on YouTube giving something of value. Now, I'm not directly selling something. I'm not offering something, but you could. Now, I'm going to be doing a whole series of webinars. They're going to start next week because, as you know, Karen, I've got a program in January. And so I will be giving out all kinds of information sessions for people, how to write books, how to make your book a bestseller, how to make money being an author, multiple sources of income for authors and experts and all of that. So I'm going to be using YouTube. And I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of free information sessions. Now, when I do those free information sessions, and of course, Karen, you'll have access to those as well as anyone else that's on this call. When I do those free information sessions, I will invite people to invest in themselves and check out my programs. So I'll be talking about the Bestseller Moneymaker program, or I'll be talking about Total Author Immersion, right? And so when I do that, people will go and they'll take a look. And not everyone's going to sign up for the program, but some people will. So that's one way, but that's all part of a strategy, Karen. And of course, you and I are working together. You're in my annual all access program. So you have exposure to all my programs. So you're going to see how that strategy, if you haven't already seen it already, on how that strategy works. So it's a well thought out strategy. The second way is you can run ads. You can offer to have ads be in your videos, and you make money from that. If people click on ads, you actually make money. So that's another source of income. So to answer Karen's first question, now Karen has 4 questions, so let me look at her second question. The voice recorder, not Audacity, you use like when you're in the car, is it on your iPhone or do you download it? Okay, so in my car, what I'm listening to is my MP3 of my Power Life script. I actually recorded it with Audacity. I opened it up in my iTunes channel, and then I synced my phone, because I have an iPhone, to my iTunes, and then it syncs, and what it does is it copies my script or my audio script onto my iPhone. That's how I listen to it. Okay, so it is done with Audacity. That's how I listen to it in my car. However, if you haven't figured that out yet, and do you have an iPhone, Karen? If you have an iPhone, or even I think Android and other devices work with this, there is an app that you can download. It's called Voice Loop. Voice Loop. And I have it on my phone. And with Voice Loop, you can create an audio, and then what it does is it loops the audio. You push play, and it's just going to play over and over and over again. Okay, so get Voice Loop. If you're still having a challenge with Audacity, get Voice Loop, and that'll work for you. Okay, next question is, since I need help with speaking, do you recommend I join Toastmasters? Yeah, absolutely. I joined Toastmasters many years ago, and it helped immensely. But Karen, you're in the annual All Access Pass with me. I'll help you with that as well. I've coached, I've done presentation techniques, I've coached people on how to do speaking, but I can help you with that as well. So that's something you want to do because you're one of my one-on-one mentoring clients. I can help you. And sure, join Toastmasters because it gets you out there speaking. Okay, and it'll help you with that as well. Okay, next question for Karen is, how do you decide if the business that you're starting is a social service to make it private, profit, or private, nonprofit? Well, that's easy. Are you planning on making a profit? Then make it a nonprofit. So, I mean, that's maybe an oversimplistic answer. There's a lady that you probably know by the name of Banaf Shea. She's another client of mine, and you're going to meet her when you're at my events in January, and she can help you with that question. As a matter of fact, she's presenting at my Total Author Immersion event, so you'll be able to ask her that question. Or Karen, next time we have our call together, you can ask me and I'll address that question. Also, Karen, did you get my email from yesterday? Let me know, okay, because I sent you an email. Okay, great. Okay. So the other comments that I'm seeing that are in my inbox are essentially thank you comments and appreciation comments. And I really want to acknowledge you for that. You know, I find that since I started doing the morning money classes, it really fuels me to be of service to you. And I decided, you know, just the other day I was thinking, I wonder if people have questions. They're in the morning money class and they would love to have me address them specifically. So that idea popped in my mind and I took action and I created this open Q&A for the subscribers of the morning money class. Okay, so you know what? I love that you guys showed up, that you decided to be here, that you submitted your questions, that you asked your questions, and that I was very blessed to get those questions answered. Okay, so yay. Okay, Karen has an iPhone. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to answer one more question and we're going to call it a wrap, okay? Another question just came in here from Reshma. And the question is, dear Miss Peggy McColl, thanks for the morning money classes. I always thought that I am fear of failure. When I saw you kissing money in morning money class, I felt disgusting. The moment I realized that I'm afraid of success, money too. That is my paradigm. Thank you for making me realize that always I'm a giver, but I didn't realize I am subconsciously refusing and accepting wealth. How do I work on building positive relationship with money other than kissing him every day? What is your suggestion, recommendation on writing fiction stories and books? I got ideas, but how do I act on it? Is this program recorded? I like to watch it again and again. All right, so yes, it's being recorded and you'll be able to watch it because it'll be on YouTube. And I'm also going to post it on the Morning Money class. Once we're done, I'll put the link up on the Morning Money class so that you can see it. And thank you for your kind words, by the way. I love that you've recognized what your paradigm is. Okay, so how do you create a better relationship with money? And this is such a phenomenal, I'll answer the author question as well. It's such a phenomenal question and a great way to wrap up today's call. How do you create a better relationship with money? Just think about it. Think about relationships, right? If you want to have a better relationship with somebody else, you must appreciate and respect them and love them, genuinely love them. Love them for what they are. Now, I'm not talking about something that's unhealthy. I'm talking about something that's healthy. Whether money's in your life or not in your life, there's an abundance of it out there and you can still love it. You can love it from afar, right? So love money. Love what it does for you. Love the freedom it provides. Love what it does for other people. But genuinely feel the love for money. Another thing is to appreciate it. But actually write down, what do you appreciate about money? Create an appreciation journal, a gratitude journal. What do I appreciate about money? I appreciate that money is available. I appreciate that it allows us to buy the things. I appreciate that it provides comfort for us. I appreciate that others are benefiting from it, and so can I, and so will I. I appreciate that I have a roof over my head. I appreciate that the light's illuminated. I appreciate that I have a computer and I'm connected to you right here, right now. I appreciate anything you can appreciate. I appreciate Peggy. You just express some appreciation. Get into an appreciation where you're turning up the volume on appreciation, maximized, right? Where you really, truly are feeling appreciation every single day. And then respect money. How do you respect money? Well, I see people wasting money. And, you know, that's their choice, you know, how they use it, right? Like they'll buy something and then they just throw it away, right? Or like, in our country, you know, where I live, we do this thing called recycling, right? If we use a plastic bottle, like with water, we use a plastic bottle, rather than throw it away in the garbage, I will recycle it because there's use, there's value in that, right? So I will respect it and put it in the recycle box. When I'm consciously thinking about giving a gift to somebody, I'll think about something that would be valuable to them. I'm not talking about, it only having to be of value, what other people would, what would be of value to them. And then I respect the fact, like when I shopped, I bought my son a brand new truck for his birthday, which was a couple of weeks ago. So when I shopped for his truck, I looked for something that would be a wonderful vehicle for him and his family, that would keep them safe, that would have all the things that would be appreciated by my son. And then I shopped online. I went online, I went to different sites, and I found this one place. It happens to be a car dealership that's very close to our home that had a special offer. And this special offer offered a discount of something like 20% off the price of the car. So a car that would normally be over $50,000 actually had a $10,000 discount of it. And that's just respecting money. It's not blowing money, feverishly. It's like shopping for deals. I love getting deals. However, if I go to buy, let's say, a jacket, and I find that it's a lot more expensive than what, I don't look at price tags, by the way, when I go shopping, but it's a respect for that money. If I buy something that's expensive, then I take care of it. That's respecting it, right? So that's how you strengthen and deepen your relationship with money. You love it, you appreciate it, and you respect it. And think about in any relationship. I talked about that in one of my morning money classes. I said that my husband had told me what he loves about me is that I appreciate him. Now, my husband and I, we've been together 12 years. We have a very strong, loving, connected relationship that gets better and better all the time. I appreciate him so much, but that doesn't happen by accident. It happens when my husband is speaking to me, I give him attention. I look at him. I pay attention. I respect him. If I know that if I do something that might hurt him, I won't do it. Or if I'm thinking about making a decision that's going to affect him, I will have a conversation with him. So that's just something that's respectful. It's something that shows appreciation. It's something that expresses loving. Okay? So that's how you do it. So I want to express some gratitude to you guys. You know what? And that was a respect for you. I scheduled the call to happen at 2:00 Eastern time. I was here before 2:00. That's a respect. That's a genuine respect. I appreciate that questions were submitted in advance. I appreciate that you got on this call, and I'm sending you love. I want to tell you how much I appreciate you guys. Now, what I'd like you to do, share the morning money classes with other people. If there's somebody you care about and you want to help somebody else, Michael, as an example, you're in TIR consulting, share these money classes, share them on your Facebook page, send out emails to other people. I would love, love, love for you to share them with more people. All right, everyone. Well, my pleasure to be here, to be of service to you. Watch for more money classes. I'll be posting them. Stay engaged, stay subscribed. I'll also be announcing some of the free calls that I'm doing next week, but stay subscribed. You see an email that I'm promoting something, just, move it aside, but stay subscribed because you're going to still continue to get the morning money classes. All right. Have yourself a wonderful day. Thank you.